So, the shop got a job. We had quoted this to machine out a hole plus or minus a half a thousandths. We were going to send it through the machining center and machine it out and let them go. But this is what we got. This is torched out 304 stainless. You can see the hardened case around this very ugly looking hole. This is going to be hard as kryptonite. And if you send end mills or even inserted cutters in there, it's going to chip them up, it's going to break them, and we're going to lose our shirt because we're burning through so many end mills and cutters trying to get this material out of here. So we decided the best way to do it is to bore it out in the lathe. Take a giant cut through it all, go slow and heavy, and you can get it out. Problem is, the shop doesn't have a 4-jaw chuck. So instead of spending a few $1,000s on a nice bison or something, we decided to go the cheap route and see what we got. So we purchased a CME, SANOU or SANOU. I'm not even sure how to say that. But let's get into it and see what we bought. We purchased the 8-inch 4-jaw CME chuck. We opened it up and it was completely filled with oil and dragged through beach sand. There was so much grit and stuff, I was afraid of even taking it apart. We were able to get it apart, and we immediately threw everything through the ultrasonic cleaner. You can even see like some of the screws are all gaffed up. Just by pulling it out, there was so much grit all in there. But anyway, here it is all clean. I took the liberty of deburring the backing plate. We bought it as a set with a D16 backplate, and this backplate was completely filled with burrs, sharp edges, so we went, cleaned everything up, installed the posts. I mean, it looks kind of ugly on the front, but I think we're going to have to true this up at some point. Casting is kind of porous, but everything's there. So the body actually doesn't look too bad. It's nice turning, nice radiuses, got some chamfering on here. The laser engraving is fantastic. Let's see here. Not too bad. The scroll actually looks pretty decent. The teeth are somewhat smooth. Looks really hard. The scroll looks nice and smooth. Not bad. The interface fits pretty well. It's pretty tight. There's not much clearance in there. There's an issue with the backing plate though. I took this and put it on. It's not supposed to do that. You're supposed to have extra stock so you can cut it and fit it. But we don't have any stock. So this is quite a bit of an issue. At least the screw holes line up. I think we have enough material on this to take this all down and create a new step which will match the body. I don't think we have a choice because it's unusable right now. Your typical key. One thing I found interesting is that the backing plate is plastic. I've never seen that before. But I guess if you're just trying to keep stuff out, it is inexpensive. We have the regular drivers. Nothing to write home about. They're there. Kind of rough, but they'll do. All the screws, pins, of course. Here's the jaws. The grinding on the outside looks pretty decent. Again, there's burrs all over the place. I did stone some off. The worst hard about these is the actual grind on the holding surfaces. They look pretty ugly. I'm nervous about that. But what we're doing isn't super important or accurate as far as holding the outside of it. So, I don't know. Let's try to get this back plate fit on. I'm going to do a dry run to see if this thing fits, and then we can grease it up, put it all back together, and see what we got for accuracy. So here we are at the lathe. I decided to mount this plate on here so I could try to make it usable and remachine to fit the chuck. Unfortunately, I noticed there is a giant gap. It doesn't even sit on the face, and it looked like a pretty big gap. So I just set up my center here, put a little pressure on it, indicated it in flat, got out my trusty feeler gauges, and we're at about 17 thousandths. That's a lot. We're going to need to do something about that. These D1 posts, they do pull pressure, but they're not going to pull 17 thousandths in. So we need to figure out how much material is on that nose that has to come off. So if we do some trusty trigonometry here, pay attention in school, kids. I know it is 7 degrees, 7 minutes, and 30 seconds angle, and that figures out to be 7 1/8 angle. So it's going to be the sine on that times the 17 thousandths. And we're looking at about a little over 2 thousandths a side. Some would say, oh, you don't want to do that, you'll ruin it. Well, this plate is completely unusable as it is. So we have to do something and make it work. I already have a chuck that I can put on here, and, you know, we will cut it. We're used to doing precision stuff and fitting. This is what we do, so I'm not too afraid to get after it. So let's try to fix that and then move on. So I finished cutting, we put it back in here, and I have roughly 1/1000ths in here, which I think will work out really well. So we'll pull it apart, install the posts, pull it with the cam locks, glue it up, and see how it fits. Okay, so we installed the studs and I blued everything up, and it's time to take it off and see how we did. Oh yeah, look at that, it's looking good. So the nose angle's hitting nice and flat, the outside face is hitting all around. I think we did pretty well. That will give us repeatability and accuracy. So now I'll wipe it down, reinstall it, and let's try to take care of the front. So now I have the back plate all set. I've got this fits really nice. Almost have to tap it in so we know it'll be concentric with the chuck. I also marked on here with my stamp an alignment so it aligns with the nose on the machine, and you always put it on there in the same spot. So let's get after it and get this thing together. Okay, now we have it all together. I have it mounted onto the machine, and let's do some indicating to see where we're at. So first I just want to indicate the chuck, the outside of the body. And not bad, it's a half a thousandths. So not too bad. Alright, I have a little pin here clamped in, and let's see. Where that is at. Ooh. So the small pin I'm getting about 3.5, almost 4. Well, I have a bigger pin. Let's try to put that in and see if that's any better. It is a little snug. I wish it was a little smoother. Let's get this over here. Let's see. I should get that into the camera so you can see it. So that's about 3-ish. Well, that's probably what I expected. I mean, it's perfectly fine for what I got going on here. Maybe at some point we'll get ambitious and grind the jaws in. But for now, that's just what it is. So there you have it. There's a cheapo SANOU or CME chuck. You know, I assumed we were going to get within around 2 thousandths, maybe 4 overall. And that's, I think, what they pretty much say you're going to get out of it. So there's a breakdown of this new CME chuck and what it took to get mounted to the machine. The chuck itself isn't actually that bad. It's still a little tight, and we're only getting 3 to 4 thousandths of run out. But the mounting issue, the plate, that was right out. We had to spend a lot of time fixing this plate just to even mount it to the machine. So if we were to take the cost of the setup here, plus the shop rate for how many hours we worked on the back plate, we'd still be less than half of what it would have cost for an expensive chuck. So, does it hold value for us? Yes, it does. The 3 to 4 thousandths, that's not going to allow us to put too much stuff in there. I think I'm going to try to grind at least the inside of these jaws. I don't have a jaw ring with 4 posts. I don't even know if they make them. Let me know in the comment, or if you can send me something. if you know what those rings are that go on the jaw so you can grind the inside, do they make one for 4 jaw chucks? I don't know. I've never seen one. But I don't actually have a ring, and I don't have a grinder that mounts on the lathe. So I think I'm actually going to grind these jaws in the surface grinder. And that'll be interesting. If you guys want to see me do that, I'll do a video of that and show you how I do it. Hopefully it'll come out pretty good. If we get 1 to 2 thousandths run out, we can put a lot more stuff through this chuck, which would add even more value. So it's kind of a toss-up. I know a lot of people say, should I get that or should I just cough up the money? And you know, we're just going to use this occasionally, and if we can get it to run decent, I think it'll hold a lot of value for us for some number of years. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe. It'll really help the channel. We're trying to get things going and bring more work into the shop, and it'll really help keep our guys going. It's appreciated. Thank you.